Nanostrip process training video. Why you need additional safety training for the acid or the etchant work inside the clean room? Because acids or etchant used in the clean room are extremely hazardous. Many of them can cause the severe damage to the human tissue. You must be alert and cautious when using these chemicals to avoid all contact with them. We provide additional safety training for our clean user, and you could learn about the PPE, the fume hood operation, the chemical usage and storage, the waste disposal, the safety equipment, the treatment on the chemical spill, and also the necessary first aid measures during the training session. So when you follow the appropriate safety procedures during your process, your risk of injury will be minimized. Violation of the safety rules, you may receive the warning email, the suspension email from the staff. And if you are unsure about any procedure, or you are unsure about your chemical, the conditions inside the clean room, you are not unsure the fume hood is safe or not safe for your chemical work there, welcome to contact me. And we could discuss those things in detail. What you need to know before your acid or etchant process in our clean room. Firstly, you need to submit your training request online. So here is a link and instructions. So you can follow this one to submit your training request online. And also you need to know what chemical we provided inside the clean room. So this table here is list what acid we provide in clean room. So which is usually will be stored in the room 359. And this table here is list what metal etchant we provided inside the clean room. And if you need to work with those chemicals, which is microfab supplied chemicals, and staff usually will provide you SOPs, SDS, and related safety materials. You need to read them carefully before you attend the training. We will also have the training video. You also need to watch the training video online. And if you need to work with other acids or etchant in the clean room, not listed here, and please follow instructions below. Like you need to submit your chemical request online and let the staff know what chemical you plan to work with inside the clean room. And you need to read SDS carefully. You need to know what bakers you need to work with, what chemical can be stored together, what chemical cannot be stored together there. And also provide a detailed SOP regarding how to choose your PPE and how to perform the work in appropriate fume hood, and how to prepare your etchant, and how to dispose your chemical waste after your work, and also including the emergency procedure. And now we will talk about how to do our acid process. So what procedure I need to follow? Step one, firstly, you need to make sure the fume hood is in the working condition. So like there have the green light is on, no red light, no alarm. If you hear the alarm of the fume hood when entering the lab, and please leave immediately and report it to staff. It may have issue with exhaust line of that fume hood, or may have the issue with exhaust line with all the fume hood in the lab. And also check the surface of the fume hood before you work with it and make sure there's no liquid, no spill there. And if you find there have any spill and liquid, you can also check that with the staff. And confirm the waste container will not be filled to the top, and do not overfill the waste container. For some fume hood, we have the backup waste container, some maybe not. And you need to check that one with staff if you are not sure where to find them. And also if needed, and you can wear the PPE to check the waste container level there. And also make sure you know the location of the emergency exits. So we have two on the hallway of the clean room, the third one in the 359. And also you should know the safety equipment where it's stored in that lab, including the emergency shower, wash station, first aid kit, HF first aid kit, spill response kit, and also fire extinguisher. We usually keep the two of the spill response kit in the hallway of the clean room, and we have eye wash station and emergency shower in each lab, which have the chemical usage inside it, and also have first aid kit in each lab, and have the HF first aid in the HF area, and also have the backup is in the spirit subs kit. And if there's a logbook, you need to log your usage in the paper logbook. And also you can place several the clean wipe on the table before your work. So those wipe will be helpful when you need to dry your gloves, dry your beakers after work, and also you need to place it into the fume hood, and to dry your sample after at work, you need to place several one before you wear the acid gloves. And also you can get your sample, your pins, or your timer from your toolbox and from your second containers, and place them on the table, prepare there, and for acid work. And also for all the acid work, we need the body and stay in the same lab with you together. And if there have any accident during your work, the body can help you and to the emergency shower at your station, or can help you to call 911. We have two supplies rack for the PPE in 359. One is near the Nanostrip fume hood. We provide the user with face shield, apron, gloves, and also blue booties. We also have another supplies rack for the PPE, so which is near the other S fume hood. We also supply the face shield, apron, gloves, and blue booty. You can use any of them for your process, and if you need to heat up your chemical, they also have a hot plate in 359 for your work. Now we'll learn how to wear the PPE for your wet etch process. Firstly, we wear the blue booties, and you should find them on supplies rack. We provided 2 sets of them in the 359. And next, we wear the yellow apron. And for every atom, you should check the outside and also inside of these atoms, and make sure there's no liquid, there's no chemical residues. And you could tie to front, it will be more easier for you to remove it later. Next, we need to wear the face shield, and you could lose it first and then wear it. So now we also wear the face mask. If you feel it's really foggy on this face shield, and when you wear both safety glasses and face shield, you can take off the glasses and only wear the face shield. And then you adjust it to the correct position and then tight it. And next we wear these gloves. And the gloves we provide size 7, 8, 9, and 11. Make sure check the size first and choose part size and for your usage. And then we need to use a nitrogen gun to blow it and to check every finger. Make sure it's no leak, it's no holes, the fingers of the gloves. And then we can wear it. It's better outside of the sleeve of your apron, and also it's better have like the 1 inch cuff there, and make sure if there have some liquid on your gloves, it will hold in that cuff, not go directly to your clean room gown. And now you're ready to do your wet etch process. For Nanostrip process, we need to use a glass beaker to hold the chemical. User need to provide the beakers for the Nanostrip process, and also prepare your sample, tweezer, and a timer. And you could use the sample dipper to hold your sample for this process. It is stored in this cabinet in 359. And here we have the 3 sizes for the sample dipper. The multi-pieces, small one and large one, and you could choose one according to your sample size. Remember to close this cabinet after you get something from it. And then you could transfer your sample from the container to this sample dipper. For the beaker, you need to prepare 2 or 3 beakers. one for the chemical, and another one or two, and to hold the DI water. And now we could put the beakers and also our sample inside the film hood. Now we'll talk about the Nanostrip process. Make sure you work with Nanostrip film hood, check the flow meter, and leave the green light on, no red light, no alarm. Put a glass beaker inside the film hood. You can prepare 2 or 3 glass beakers for your process and put your sample on the sample holder. And we can have 1 beaker for the chemical, 1 or 2 beakers for the DI water. Firstly, rinse all the beakers with DI water and fill 1 or 2 beakers with DI water for you to rinse your sample surface after your etch process. So here, I just have the 2 beakers, 1 for the chemical, 1 for DI water. And now I will rinse this beaker, and later I will have this beaker to have the nanostrip inside it. We store the nanostrip in the cabinet, which is underneath the film hood. Have 2 bottles inside it, 1 on the left side, 1 on the right side. You can use any of them for your process. We grab 1 bottle, put it inside the film hood. Always open the bottle inside the film hood. Carefully put chemical into your chemical beaker. Make sure the liquid level can over your sample surface. And then we cap it, put it back to the cabinet. Make sure it's still inside the second container. For the nanostrip process, you can work with like the different temperatures. So usually you work around like 60 centigrade or 80 centigrade, but make sure not over 100 centigrade. We have the hot plate, which is on this glass rack. You can use this one to heat up your chemical for your process. Today, I just take the room temperature etch process as example. Prepare your timer. Put the sample into the chemical beaker first, and then start your timer. For the cleaning, so if you work around like the 60 to 80 centigrade, and you can do the cleaning for like the 5 to 10 minutes cleaning, it should have the really good cleaning results to remove some organic residues from your sample surface. And when your etch process is completed, you can carefully transfer your sample from the chemical beaker to DI water beaker and rinse those residue chemicals on your sample surface. We still need to use the running DI water to rinse your sample. Make sure no chemical residues on your sample surface and also on that is the sample deeper surface. Put it on top of that clean wipe. And use nitrogen gun to blow it to dry. And now you can use the stainless steel tweezer to hold your sample when you blow it dry with nitrogen gun. And then you could put your sample back to the wafer container. Next, we need to dispose the chemical waste. So we have the Nanostrip waste container just inside the film hood. We open the yellow cap, carefully dispose the Nanostrip waste into the waste container. You also need to rinse with the water and dispose it into the waste container again. Dispose the water into this waste container. And next we rinse all these glass beakers. If you heat it up to like the high temperature, you should have your beaker on the hood surface and wait it cool down to room temperature and then transfer it to the waste container. Remember, do not transfer any hot chemical to the waste container. That is very dangerous. To cool down the chemical, you could use the chemical use label, fill out your information, place that label near to your Nanostrip beaker, put your beaker and label to the back of the film hood, leave the front space for other user usage. Wait around like the 1 hour, your chemical should drop to the room temperature. And then you could come back, dispose your chemical waste into the waste container and rinse your beaker, put them back to your storage space. And now we need to rinse all the beakers, the sample dipper, and also your cleanser. So which you think it may have the chemical contact during your process, and rinse them with the water for 2 to 3 times. Make sure there's no chemical residues on the surface. Then use the clean wipe to dry all those beakers and sample dipper. For your beaker, you could put them back to your personal storage space, which is on the hallway. And for the sample dipper, you could put it back to the cabinet where you got it. Okay, so now we will put this sample dipper back to the cabinet. And make sure you close the door. Dispose all the wipe. There's no chemical residues there. You could clean the surface and dispose them to a regular trash can. And close the cap of the waste container. We have this acid neutralizer spring bottle inside Nanostrip film hood. In case there have a small chemical spill just inside the film hood, there have detailed instructions. You could follow that one to deal with a small chemical spill in the film hood. Last step, we still need to rinse our gloves with the water. And also dry the gloves with the clean wipes. Make sure you completely dry your gloves before you remove them. Otherwise, it may splash some liquid to other place. We have the 2 instant user work with some chemical. They remember to rinse the gloves, but forgot to dry the gloves. And later when they remove the gloves and they have the liquid splash to their face or other place, that is very dangerous. And close this window. And now we could remove our PPE. Firstly, we remove the acid gloves, organize them like this way and put it back. Next, remove the face shield, loose it, and then remove it. Take off the apron. Last step, take off the blue booties. If you find any item is dirty, you could dispose it and report it to staff. If you need to leave your beaker with chemical in any film hood here, we provided the chemical use label. You could find it from the preparation table. Fill out information and make sure you come back, dispose your chemical waste, and when your process is done. And that is reusable, you can return it back to these holders here. We also provided a microscope in this lab, and you could use this one to check your patterns after etching process. Next, we talk about the safety equipment. This is HF first aid kit. We stored it on the supplies rack. Here has HF SDS, BOE SDS, safety procedure, and the cabinet gel. If you need to use it, make sure it is not expired. It's not opened before. And also, if you use it, you also need to report it to me. I need to replace it with a new tube. And you can open it and use a sharp side. You can open it and then apply it to your affected area. If you have any HF containing chemical on your skin, remove the gloves and rinse with water, and then apply this cabinet gel. Every 15 minutes, apply it again until you see the doctor for the further treatment. And remember, bring the 1 copy of the SDS to see the doctor. Here also I have emergency exit in 359. If you need to leave during emergency, you can leave from this side. We also have the first aid kit on the supplies rack, which is near the door of 359. Have the eye wash station and safety shower in this room. If you have the chemical spill in your eyes, on your face, on your hands, and you can use the eye wash station to rinse it. We can open it. They have water from both sides. Force your eyes to open. Rinse for 15 to 20 minutes. And after rinse, you need to close it. If you have the chemical splash on your whole cleanroom gown, you need to stand underneath the shower head here and pull this handle. They have water from top and rinse it. Now we could go to hallway, find this chemical spill response kit. This large yellow bucket. We have 2 of them in the hallway of the cleanroom. And we have all those atoms is inside it. It's including the neutralizer bottle, including absorbent pad, yellow bag, testing paper, and with labels, and also the backup for the cabinet gel. And now we can open it. And this pink one is absorbent pad. So you can use this one to collect all those neutralized liquid or after dear water cleaning liquid. And then you can put all those materials into this yellow bag and write down the information on this label and put label on that yellow bag. And then tie this yellow bag and put into the back of the film hood. Report it to staff and I will collect it and that years to pick up it. And there also have other atoms can help you deal with some of the chemical spill. And if you need it, you can always find them in this yellow chemical spill response kit. And after your usage, and you can just close it. If you have any question about this process, welcome to contact cleanroom staff.